You're on mute.
Thank you. Okay. So hi everyone. Thank you for showing up. We will be starting now. Okay. So this is our 2023 Ocean Busters panel. Okay, so these are a few things we will be discussing today. We'll go over a brief introduction of Ocean Busters, and these are just a few topics we will be talking about with our panelists, and also you can write in the chat, and you can directly ask also. So I would briefly like to go over Ocean Busters. So, Ocean Busters is an international nonprofit youth organization focused on preserving and protecting and promoting our oceans through forms of media, writing, and art collaborations created entirely by youth. We believe that it's crucial for younger generations to be involved and educated about climate change and ocean conservation so that we can develop future leaders. We hope that our initiatives create campaigns and youth work to engage and unite youth of the world to work together in a common goal, because we believe that our youth is very important for our future of our oceans. So here are current initiatives that we're doing right now. Currently, we're creating a children's storybook that will help be translated into different languages that will help kind of teach children of ocean conservation. We also have a newspaper that's coming on its way that will help show different ocean policies, news, and just initiatives that we're currently doing. We hope that in the future we create ambassadors/chapters, and that we also help to sponsor beach cleanups. And I also, if you're not part of Ocean Busters, I also added like teams on the side so that you can like see the different teams we offer in Ocean Busters. And here to the other side is just a few of our artwork, and we also have a podcast. So I would first like to introduce our first panelist, Camila.
Hi everyone. First of all, thank you very much for attending this panel. I am very excited to share with you some interesting, easy, and cost-effective ways to be sustainable. So first of all, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Camila.
Oh, okay. So first of all, I would like to introduce myself. I'm a member of the Ocean Busters Board. I have worked in multiple volunteering activities, and right now I am working on a personal project doing research about sustainability. So now we'll share with you um, some easy and cost-effective ways to be sustainable, because it does not need to be hard or expensive. So the first one is create your own. I think we all are very aware that most of the products that are on the market are not only increasing the contamination, but also are bad for our health and well-being. And one great example of something that we can create is hand soap with cooking oil. That is one of the most ways that is wrongly disposed. This is a process that will only occur after a chemical reaction, so we need to take the correct um, procedures and have security measures for that. Now, the next one is recycle, reuse, and repurpose. I think by this we can reduce the amount of waste and contamination, but also use things that we already have. Like, for example, recycling plastic bottles, reusing glass containers, but also repurposing clothes and wine corks. The next thing is composting. Composting is a great way to take food waste and take it into something that is very useful. We can use it on our garden, on interior plants, And this I here have a chart, a few things that we could use that we can compost. And the next one is energy consumption. That is the most basic thing we could do, just turning off the lights and plugging in electronics. This might seem very basic and really small changes, but by these small changes, we can make a big impact. And also, an important tip that I didn't add to my chart is that we can also help by buying the right products. For example, instead of searching for normal products or something that says biodegradable, we should search for something that says compostable, because everything is actually biodegradable, even plastic, although it takes there's hundreds of years. So yeah, thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you, Camille.
Hi, Camilla. I'm Priyanka, and I have two questions for you. Um, my first question is that recyclable products are often not recyclable due to food waste, so they have to be thrown into the landfill. For example, milk cartons. If you don't wash out your milk cartons before recycling it, you contaminate an entire batch of recyclable products and prevent them from being recycled. How can we better raise awareness on this issue as it severely impairs recycling from being more productive and efficient?
Yes, thank you for your question. So the easy way to create awareness is by educating, by programs, books, etc. By these ways, we can educate people about the correct way, their negative effects, and so on and so on.
Great. I love your answer. And one more question that I have is that what would be an effective way to establish sustainable practices in school? In a sense, how can we bring these ideas to a younger generation of kids that may not have the best understanding of what it means to be sustainable or to recycle or anything about climate change? How can we make it accessible and easy for them to understand and implement in their daily lives so that it carries with them as they grow up and they just keep adding on and become a more sustainable and eco-friendly person?
Yes, your question is very interesting. So the easiest way is by creating recycling programs that all students can participate, even with incentives that can make them more interesting into these programs, but also using recycled materials and repurposed materials like recycled paper and crayons that are made from themselves. This kind of stuff will make them more aware and more knowledgeable about all of these positive impacts and also the negative impacts of using a lot of paper.
All right, I really love that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I would like to introduce Blaze.
So Blaze is not here, sadly. He might come later into the panel, so we're just going to skip him for today, or for right now. So next, I'll introduce Pooja. Dr. Pooja. Thank you.
So yeah, hello everyone. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Great. So I'm going to be talking about conscious architecture and its relation with sustainable living in the new age reality. So I'll just try to highlight why do we need conscious architecture and how it aligns with sustainable development goals. So basically, the need today is for us to live in buildings wherein we can manifest health and our consciousness overall is benefited. So currently, we have numerous examples of sick buildings and then the health going haywire and all of that, which is in turn leading to us doing things which is not in alignment with the new age reality or the age to come. So it has to start from our near environment, the place where we live, the place where we do our activities. So it all starts from that, because we are in constant interaction with our environment. And that is where we need to align, so that the overall motive for a healthy planet, for a better place to live in, that is what Sustainable Development Goals for 2030 are all about. So that then only we can manifest that kind of a reality, once our own interaction with the environment is of that level of a raised consciousness, or in alignment with our own consciousness. So I'm a Vastu consultant, so I'll talk from that perspective, that Vastu Shastra is a Vedic science, and it's actually a design language of Vedic architecture, which is quite evolved, and it holds deep meaning in the modern context. This beyond time and space, it has applicability in all the situations, whether traditional buildings or modern buildings. And understanding this design language and harnessing it in the modern context would solve a lot of problems which are surfacing with, growing urbanization and global expansion. And it also holds a lot of clues, which kind of show up that how do we need to move forward, what are the steps that we need to take. So it's like our building in itself is guiding us when we are creating our buildings that way. So that is very important. And other than that, even if we indulge in the study of Vastu Shastra and link it with manifesting conscious architecture, we raise our consciousness itself, and that is a journey. So architecture needs to be evolved materially as well as spiritually to suit the needs of modern context. And the design language also needs to adapt to better suit our needs for meeting sustainable development goals. So that is what I want to highlight and bring to notice in the panel discussion that we are having today. So I'll be happy to dive deep if there are folks who are interested to learn more, and I'll be happy to answer questions that the panel has or the participants have.
Hi, Dr. Pooja. I'm Joshita, and after listening to your point of view on the conscious architecture for sustainable living in the new age reality, I have a question on how exactly the economic/business world, especially as you mentioned, being a conscious architecture for sustainable living in the new time of age, has affected global consumerism and materialism in the real world over the past years, especially considering how over the last decade, the world has changed, whether in increasing economic businesses and material consumerism. And what would your stance be on how to minimize this, as well as like play an effect on how to bring more attention to this situation in the real world?
Yeah, so thanks for raising or asking this question, because in today's reality, if we talk about how the buildings are being done today, it's all about skyscrapers. We are already living in the world of skyscrapers because of the demand and because of the population explosion that we have as an immediate problem to tackle. So this growth in high-rise structures is actually generating a lot of concern for environmental health and balance. And then if we study it from microclimate perspective also, it is leading to certain things which are going unnoticed, and in fact having a detrimental effect on environment. So that is the effect materialism is having directly with respect to the kind of architecture and the buildings we are investing in, or we're going towards. Because we're trying to solve the problem, but not really thinking that is it really solving the problem or creating more issues from climate perspective, from environment perspective. And to give an example, skyscrapers are actually creating this windy effect in the street zone, which is a cause of concern amongst the city authorities as well. And there's an instance where London Corporation actually took it very seriously. There were a lot of complaints with the strong gusts outside the street buildings that the people were experiencing, and it was causing a lot of hazards. And that was actually the wind effect which the skyscraper buildings were creating. So that is why I'm saying that we need to solve the problem the right way and kind of understand the way we are going. I understand materialism is there, but we need to be conscious towards solving it in a way which is actually creating a beneficial effect on the environment also.
Going off of what you said, I completely agree, especially as individuals in today's society, even in the world around us, we are able to see like how the population is exponentially increasing day by day, and the needs and wants of people are also increasing. Like we already have apartments and houses and stores and accommodations, but there's more that the people want. So what would be a STEM oriented way on how to bring advocation and attention to this, on like how we can play a role in stopping or minimizing this effect?
So I would suggest that one thing is the design language and architecture. So that is a very close relation to STEM goals and sustainable development goals for environment. So we need to understand and develop a design language which is actually bringing in the effect that we are trying to manifest. And then for that, Vastu Shastra is a very good compendium to fit in, because it is actually meant to create buildings wherein our consciousness in itself is so raised that we do not end up taking such decisions and creating such acts and involved in such activities. So that is a direct solution to the problem that we are trying to solve, that we need to invest in the design language from STEM perspective. And then in today's day, we're going for 3D printing. Even the buildings are being done through 3D printing technology. So all I would suggest there is we are bringing in STEM here. So that is a good part. But then we need to do a mindful use here and not blindly adopt STEM and 3D printing technology for sustainable architecture, because just replicating the same structure by 3D printing models is not going to solve the problem. Are those buildings healthy? Are those buildings free from sick building syndrome? Are those buildings compliant with the design language that we are trying to certify, or with or what we are trying to advocate? So all these questions need to be answered together with the growth or implementation from technology perspective or from science perspective. So there has to be that balance, and asking the right questions in the entire journey is very important. Like, are we really going the right way?
Thank you so much. I 100% agree with everything that you said, and hopefully in the future there will be more awareness to the right solutions to these problems.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so does any participants or any attendees have any questions that they'd like to be answered? You can also write it in the chat. Okay, so I'd like to introduce our next participant, Kaish.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, before starting my speech, I would like to convey a very powerful quote by Einstein. The quote goes like this: "The world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but by those who watch them without making." Hello, sir. Hello, everyone. Myself, Piyush. I am very excited to address my speech and, of course, contribute my expertise to this matters. My first experience, a little thing about, I'll do a kind of a small background about me. I have, of course, I have contributed in many workshops. I have researched. I have also a part of the National Mission for Clean Ganga. As you all know, the Ganga River is one of the holiest rivers in India. I've been a member of many of the social groups. I've conducted and participated also many workshops. But the main in this growing economy, I think the most important I've seen what lacking is the I think the awareness of it. Because many of the workshops that I've attended, I've seen people doing everything, but they don't know what the positive impact they will have on other people. Okay, like doing something good, or like you when you help a community. Okay, It's not just you helping a community. It's you're spreading the positive impact and the helpness around all the communities around it. So the first, I think, uh, the main objective what I will be focusing on is basically as see, I'm a student and I'm researching on my AI, okay, artificial intelligence, and I'm say like I've seen many of the times like people are saying like artificial intelligence will it will destroy the world, or some would say it will save us. It's basically how you perceive, how you choose to use it. Okay, like I'll give you an example. Like see, someone like you have a bunch of wastewater lying around. Okay, you the first instance was used to just clean it up and put it in the garbage and just forget about it. Okay, but what else would you do to use it as a sustainable product? Okay, like you can use your Google Assistant, you can use your Siri, you can use your Bixby, anything. You can use anything. You just ask that I have these garbages and I have these two also. What can I do to them? Some the first reason that comes to your mind is you just put it out. Okay, just throw it in the dustbin. But what the AI will tell you that I've seen and I've experimented also. They'll see that this type of garbages would be recycled and this type of garbages would not be thrown, rather to handle somebody else, like in the shelters or poor shelters, anything. So there's a, I'd say, a change of perspective when it comes to use of good use of technologies these days. As like many of us, I've talked to many people. Some say that yeah, please, I want to contribute it, but I want to commit like 10% of my time to it, 50% time of it. But I want to help each other. I'll say the best thing that you can do is to spread awareness to your social media, educate someone if you find it some on the way, and the spread the outreach of awareness. It's the biggest hidden opportunity that you can give to somebody else. Biggest. Uh, so I think one of the biggest, I think, my project is basically on 1 minute just. Yeah, so one of the biggest, I would say, the impacts is basically using of technologies. So yeah, I would take any questions if you have any. Hello, I'm audible.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm open to questions if you have any, guys.
Okay. Owen, he will ask you two interview questions after we do our next panelist. But thank you so much. I loved your slides and I loved all the information you're giving. And it was very good,
Yeah,
helpful.
sure.
Yes.
Oh,
thank
sure,
you.
sure. Welcome.
Okay, next I'd like to introduce Zara.
Hey, firstly, I would like to extend my heartiest gratitude to Ocean Buster and Go Green to give me this opportunity to speak up regarding global challenges. My name is Zara Irfan, and I'm a high school student from Pakistan. I'm very passionate about using my voice to bring a change, a positive change in our society. Last year, I participated in a global speech competition, and the topic of my speech was how do you use your voice to positively impact yourself and your society? Since then, I've been trying to use my voice and my skills to spread awareness regarding global challenges, and I've also participated in a lot of public speaking programs. So I think we should move on to the next slide, Jordan. Thank you. Like all the other panelists so amazingly explained about climate change and challenges we face, and the significance of sustaining ecological sustainability. I would like to explain the concept of ecological sustainability and what it truly means. Ecological sustainability refers to maintaining a balance between consumption and production of natural resources. It's like making sure you do not take too much from the environment. But since we haven't been really keeping that balance for the past years, it will involves another key aspect, which is restoration. Restoration means restoring the ecosystems, which involves animals and plants communities. Now, before we discuss how we can establish ecological sustainability, it is important to understand why do we need it. We need to maintain ecological sustainability to preserve natural resources for our future generations. It will also help us combat climate change, which will improve our lives, which will also improve water quality and will help us mitigate health crisis. Now, how can we maintain this ecological sustainability in our ecosystem? Well, there are a lot of ways. We should promote sustainable practices like minimizing waste, reducing pollution, avoiding use of single-use plastics, shifting to renewable sources of energy like solar power and wind power, and lastly, reducing carbon footprint. There are a lot of ways through which we can bring a positive change in our society. Now, another question arises that most of us that were attending this meeting, most of us here are students, and there's a limit to what we can do. So, what is the most inexpensive way to contribute to the maintenance of ecological sustainability? What can we do? In my opinion, the most inexpensive and costless as well as effective way to combat ecological challenges we face today is by spreading awareness. When we talk about spreading awareness, the first thing that comes to our mind is by using our voice or our writing skills to aware people regarding the ecological challenges we face today. But in my opinion, spreading awareness is not just about that, it's more than that. Awareness without action is useless. The best and effective way to spread awareness is by encouraging others and inspiring others through your actions. To inspire others by showing them how you can contribute to the society. Now, one thing that really demotivates people from bringing change into society is that they believe that the individual efforts don't matter much. I personally struggled with that, so I think that it is important to address this issue. It's not much, but this favorite quote of mine from Julia Carney really helped me and motivated me to do more. It's from my favorite poem. It goes by, it's actually written in this slide as well. Little drops of water, little grains of sand, make the mighty ocean and the beauteous land. Individual efforts matter. You may not understand the significance of how your actions may bring a positive change in the society. But just remember that individually we are one drop, but together we are an ocean. Let's try our best to combat the global ecological challenges. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful.
Hi, I loved your presentation, and I had a question for you. I was wondering, in your opinion, in 10 to 25 years, will there be a significant impact on our world economy if little to no action is taken to fight against the rapid growth of climate change?
Yes. Not too long ago, this time around last year, my country, Pakistan, suffered with heavy floods due to excessive rainfall. Many people lost their lives, and about 33 million people suffered with loss of valuable assets. Some of them lost their homes, and we're still struggling. The economy of our country drastically decreased, and the effects are still due to a lot of people are still struggling because of those floods. Those were a result of climate change. So, yes, if little to no actions are taken, to combat rapid growth of climate change in the next 10 to 25 years, economy will be severely impacted.
One more question for you. In metropolitan areas near large bodies of water, what policies would you push to implement protection of these bodies of water and its life from pollution and other harmful discharge?
I live in a coastal city and I've observed a lot of harmful practices. So I think that having strict policies regarding proper disposal of chemical and industrial waste will significantly reduce ocean pollution. Moreover, I think that there should be strict rules and regulations for tourists to follow environmental friendly practices and to also make sure that they don't dispose their waste into the ocean to preserve water bodies like ocean and sea. We should also push for policies regarding restriction of single use plastic because I think that that is important if we need to uh, combat ocean pollution. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, awesome. That was wonderful. Next, I would like to introduce Charya. Hello. We can't hear you. Okay, sorry about that. Can you try one more time to talk?
Can I speak
Okay.
now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Awesome.
Okay. I'm guiding to the children about the sustainable living lifestyle, which is the simple way. And first thing, I'm doing it practically, showing them everything practically, and then they understand how to do it. For example, composting, I'm teaching them with the fruit and vegetable peels. I have written the book also about the small program, small experiments, which is on the connect with nature for the children, which are giving the guidelines for the eco warrior also. And the composting is there. All of you are knowing this methane traps heat, and it is enter into the atmosphere. And naturally, it has a impact of 25 times greater than the carbon dioxide. And over the maximum 50 years, the temperature rises more. Already we have temperature rises there. So the practical training is essential for showing them how to reduce the methane gas, how to make the balanced compost and everything. And I'm showing in the a lot of schools also here in the locally in the Jilla Parishad schools, and they are getting the idea how to make it easily. The balance, the carbon and nitrogen, and a lot of uses of natural things. I have mentioned here the about the something is there, the maximum utilization of a natural things, that is the which are the biodegradable. Another thing is the, for example, we are taking the cucumber peel. Cucumber peels are there, or these banana are there. You will say, what is the impact? Because when they are using it the natural way, naturally the chemicals are reduced. And we have to reduce the chemicals also along with the methane gas. And dumping grounds are overflowing. So whatever is there, it becomes a black gold and is the precious. So I'm showing, going into the school, giving them to eat the banana peel and showing how to make the other compost and maximum utilization of natural things. For example, I'm giving them eating banana, then make the scrubs for the face cleaning, which will make them skin pores good. The rash or the boils are there, it will remove, then rejuvenate the dark circle or the lightening the everything like skin it will utilize by the skin also. So whatever the natural things are there, that I'm showing it practically. Also, the reuse of so many things, like for example, the glass container, reusable containers, stainless steel for a lunch box, food, or the cotton parts. I'm showing them this kind of a cotton bags, teaching them cotton bags as a gift wrap. Reuse the material from the home, and they are making it like these bags. Also, the substitute to the plastic material is essential to know them, understand the significance of a sustainable lifestyle. So I'm teaching them making the use of a cotton bag stitched by them, trying to substitute and using it in their home. Also, the natural product such as a woven things. I am teaching them utilizing every natural thing practical way. And recently I was in USA. I in a New Jersey Public Library, I taught compost. I made one workshop in a compost making and the plantation on the 21st July this year. And I had a good response. People are asking me so many questions. They are adopting the sustainable lifestyle, maximum utilization of natural things. I have YouTube also. So I'm showing them the videos or the something practically which they understand. Like for example, native trees plantation. When the rainy season is there, I'm collecting the seeds and distributing to them prior to the rainy season, making the saplings and giving to the children and showing them how to plant it in the around them or in the metro city, especially in the container. And it is sustainable lifestyles. It survives healthy. Also, they can save the water. More than 23% they can save the water. They can get the significance of a plantation. And another thing, the reuse of they can use the seeds what they are eating. For example, they are eating the lemon or the lime or orange. They can remove the seeds, collect it, make it dry, and put it into the airtight container. And when the season is good, like for example summer in USA, or when the temperature is more than 20 degrees centigrade, they can transplant. And I'm teaching them about the making the cotton bags, along with the putting them into the soil and compost, which is useful for them. Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Awesome.
Okay. Then I'm going to I'm doing lot of experiment with the children about the natural things. I'm telling them to bring the old clothes, which are they can make the small use of the basket, or they make the something handicraft things also, and utilize it for storing the food material, such as the vegetables and the peels also, vegetable and the fruit peels. And then after collecting those things, they can make the compost. Let it cut them into the small pieces, and how to balance with the carbon, like grass or the leaves. So whenever they are going into the garden, they are collecting those things, and focusing maximum on the sustainable lifestyle now. They are not using the plastic bottle, using the stainless steel one or the bamboo one. Bamboo are there, the locally made the things are there, or the glass containers are there, which are packed for a food, and they can reuse in the home. So those kind of ideas I'm sharing with them, showing them practically and naturally. Like they are also very much understanding the significance, because this next generation is a future of our earth, and it's just for a sustainable lifestyle. It is essential, and I feel it is a need for time also. And also, you are knowing the dumping grounds are overflowing, and we are wasting the valuable, precious thing, that is the black gold. And we are using the whatever the growing outside, which is on the chemical fertilizer. So the impact on the earth is there. So I want to reduce that impact also. So I am guiding them. And every problem arises with how is our lifestyle and how we are showing them, and how the path should be there. The practical training is important, and I'm doing that with the material which is available locally. For example, they are bringing the leaves also, big leaves, like banana leaves are there. So I'm showing them, clean it, put it on your food on there, eat the food on the banana leaves, so that they can get the natural things more. Ingredients from there is there. And another thing, we can reduce the pollution, which is embedded with the plastic, like air, which is embedded into the water, soil, air, everywhere. So it's very important. Even in the ladies club, I'm guiding, and compost making in the school has started independently by the children. They are growing small things also, and growing the tomato, for example, growing tomatoes. When mother is cutting the tomatoes, I'm telling you, tell mother to give the in between tomato things, tomato pulp. They are bringing into the this stainless steel tin, and that I'm putting into the soil. It grows. They are giving the water into the school, in the around in the around their container, because we are staying in the metro cities, so the space crunch is there. And a lot of practical training I'm giving them. Like for example, they should use this kind of a wood things which are useful, and even after using they can steam it or the clean with the hot water and the soap, and with the little cleaning they can reuse multiple times. These are made out of a wood, so they can use it in the sustainable like this. Then I have written the book, like this one is there, Nature to Nurture. And I have written the small experiments for growing the plantation with the homegrown compost. They are making the compost for available vacation, like for example, summer vacation they had. Then the small compost making with their own container in the home. Once they get the idea of a balancing carbon and nitrogen, and when the compost is ready, then I am teaching them which is the aerobic method. Then I'm teaching them growing the lot of fruits, vegetables in a container along with the soil itself. Thank you. Anybody have the question? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We'll ask you the questions after the next panelist.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. I'd like to introduce our last panelist, Trinidad.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Ocean Busters, for organizing this event. It's a really great to get everyone together. Just to introduce myself, I'm the secretary of Ocean Busters. So just a quick story. I'm really into environmental sciences, so that's why I joined Ocean Busters, and something I'm really passionate about. And then the stuff you see under initiatives is some of the stuff I've done. And then I quickly want to talk about what the youth and general population can do to help the earth. So really, if we start from the beginning, many like organizations such as the World Wildlife Fund and many other nonprofits have started from small dreams and hopes. For example, like the World Wildlife Fund starts from 2 people seeing wildlife fires in South Africa and Great Britain. And so back then it was a very small dream, but now it's grown to like a large nonprofit earning donations of over millions of dollars. And also working on nonprofits that can help for the greater good, such as plastic pollution and helping others in impoverished communities. And as we've seen in many of the other panelists, they've done amazing things from composting to teaching others and starting their own nonprofits and writing their own books or doing research. So it's important to be ambitious, but also work for the greater good to help the earth. And any questions?
I'm actually going to ask Ms. Tara Lakar a question first.
Yes.
So I was wondering, in your book, Nature by Nurture, you grew a garden in your kitchen, and I just wanted to know how you did that.
Actually, I did a lot of experiments when I was residing in Africa. Various parts of Africa I was residing because of my husband's job. And after that, I did lot of experiments how I can grow my own vegetables. So I started collecting the seed, And a lot of successful things I'm growing now in my balcony, which I want to explain the people very easily. You can grow it. This book is with the experience only. All are my experience with the compost making. And if there is a problem arising, for example, the leaves are yellow, what the deficiency is there, like that I have written, the chart is written, when the temperature is low or the something, what you can grow, or you can grow the micronutrients also. And there are the troubleshooting things also I have written, because just writing book never gives the satisfaction unless it is really utilized by the people. So I made it systematically, the what kind of soil should be there, and if whatever the soil is available in your place, how the composition you can add, and how the watering you can do. Those things I chalk out. I made my diary, and I have written the book. And now my next book is coming on the compost, which is I call it as a compost for a metro city. And I'm guiding to the societies also, where the wet waste is generated. Wet waste more than the 100 or the 200 kgs wet waste is generated. Wet waste is the, all of is going to the dumping grounds, which is overflowing. So I'm guiding them how to make the compost in their premises and utilize those things, and the community gardening in their premises around what you call the car parking area where the sunrise is there, and sufficient water they can give it, care they can take it. So they are growing the vegetables, fruits, and a lot of things like this community gardening. I have started it from the 2017, and this is I observed. This is not just by the reading the book. You yourself has to try it. Everyone has to try it and understand the significance of growing organic things. All of you are knowing. Now the food shortage will be there. Then what we are eating with the chemicals. So it's very essential, and I feel so. Everyone has to try it with the simple collection seed. Like for example, you are eating tomato. You can collect the seed every day, cutting the tomato, put it into the tissue paper, let it dry, and sprinkle when the season is good. On the like this, practically everyone should do it.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think another question is there, no? Another question is there.
Did the garden that you made in your kitchen benefit you in the long run?
Yes, yes. And whatever I'm eating, I'm making the vegetable and fruit is a reuse again for the compost making, and the same compost I'm using means a cyclic process. What I have to tell all of you young and dynamic people, you will try it making the compost at least with the at least 1-2 days for with the balancing carbon and nitrogen. If one part of nitrogen is there, nitrogen is the fruit and vegetable peels. So you put it 20% to 25% of dry waste, that is the leaves or the grass. Cut it into small pieces. Just give the 10 minutes to make it. Make the heap up and down every day. If it is dry, sprinkle little water, and you will observe the nature is so amazing. You will get the amazing results, and it's very giving happiness of making something. And the same you can utilize for a growing turmeric, or you can make a garlic, ginger, then the coriander leaves, then the beans also. I'm growing at present beans also because the climate is good. And another things like curry leaves are there, the all spices like lemongrass. Then I'm growing the hibiscus flowers also on the compost. So the hibiscus tea also I can take it, like that, utilizing everything.
Okay, thank you so much. That'll be it for now.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Ocean Buster. I want to say something about what you are doing. All of you are doing is a great one. I miss in between because my sound was not coming good. But I'm very happy to see all of you are actively doing it good. Recently, I had what you call one compost making and plantation workshop at the New Jersey Library. New Jersey Public Library. 36 students, they learned the technique, and I gave them seeds also, like onions, garlic, which you can grow it and enhance your what you call taste bud with the utilizing the fresh one, fresh, everything. And I experienced. Hello, yes.
Yes. Somebody in
Okay.
the chat said, what gave you the inspiration to start all of this?
When I was in Africa, few things were not getting, and I saw the lot of this one food peels are wasting because they are dumping everywhere, here, there. So why not I make the compost? I started doing the compost, and I got it doing after so many times in the aerobic way. And vermicompost, I got the exact idea how much the carbon and nitrogen balance should be there. And I got the inspiration actually with the nature itself. Nature is giving the plenty things. So it gave me a lot of harvest, lot of things. One thing you have to keep always in mind. If you have a willingness, you can do the anything. Not only composting, utilization is also important. And along with that, adopting sustainable lifestyle, like just now I mentioned. And the inspiration I got from the village people. Actually, village, they are so self-sufficient. They are using their own bag. They are using the leaves also for the serving the food or something. So when I saw in Africa, I got idea the villages are very self-sufficient. They are utilizing everything. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes. I will show my YouTube video. You can go to the YouTube and click Chaya Taralekar. I have made YouTube videos feature from the local language also, but you can understand. CHHAY Chaya Taralekar. TARALEKR, the same name. And you can click, you will get the 22 videos are there. And you can access if you will like it, growing something.
Somebody also said in the chat, can you share your experiences in Africa?
Yes, I did experiences in growing lot of vegetables also. And the climate is so good. So only the require was the soil, soil enriched nutrients. So I started the composting, utilize it around me. And I was growing the tubers like sweet potato and yam, which is the local food for them. And I learned a lot of techniques how we can grow it in the plenty and when the nutrients are balanced.
Okay, thank you so much. That's all the questions.
Thank you. And
Thank you.
now I got the passion only. And I think this is very need for a time because all of you are aware from the Ocean Buster. Recently, I visited to the Alaska also. I saw the because of the climate change, pollution and overfishing, everything is disturbed. I got the view from the Mendenhall, Mendenhall glacier, which is melting so fast, which is very horrible in the situation. And it was very stressful to see the situation, flood-like situation around, and which is causing because of the climate change. Though so, the sustainable lifestyle is essential to learn by everyone and a need for time. And what you sow, what we sow today will grow tomorrow. So the future our future is in our own hand. I think so.
Okay, thank you so much. We'll move on
Thank
to
you. Thank
Srinivasa's
you. Thank
questions.
you, Ocean Buster. Thank you, Ocean Buster.
Thank you.
You go through my YouTube where the growing the tomato, chilies, and garlic, ginger, and turmeric also is there, and sweet potato is there, and how the biodiversity increases when you are making compost, utilizing it. Then automatically the butterflies are growing in my garden. Lot of honeybees are there. Although the around is the pollution, but they are flourish here. And at present, I have sunbird also in my balcony, which is uh, very great biodiversity in my home. Thank you, Ocean Buster, and all of your team attending the people. Please feel free if you have any question. You can ask anytime. My email ID is there. You can ask me anytime.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on now to Srinivasa's questions.
So I would like to ask a question to Srinivas.
Yeah, go ahead.
So as mentioned, you have interned in many companies. So what steps do you think or policies do you think that the companies worldwide should take to decrease the carbon footprint?
Okay. So, could you repeat that question one more time?
I apologize. So
Yeah.
what steps do you think the companies worldwide should take to decrease the carbon footprint?
Yeah, great question. One way companies can decrease their energy companies specifically is by firstly starting off with the renewable energy resources instead of relying on coal, oil, power plants, all these kind of like factories. It's important to switch to renewable like wind, geothermal, hydro, and solar, and implementing it throughout their electricity grid is important because energy companies provide the electricity we have in our homes today. So it's important to tackle the root cause, and them converting to renewables is a great way to start off. And also another way to tackle and decrease the carbon footprint is to provide tax incentives to switching to like renewable energy resources. Like I know in the US, the government's providing tax incentives. It's a small tax incentive, I think, but switching to solar or having an electric car gets you tax write-offs. And additionally, energy companies and the government, I think, should advocate more for it. So more people are diving into and getting more interested to switching to like solar or wind and other stuff like that. Great question.
Thank you so much for your answer. I hope in future these steps could be implemented and the carbon footprint could be decreased. I have one more question. How do you think that STEM, as you're as you're one part of the STEM society, how do you think that STEM can help in climate change?
Okay, so for climate can be kind of broken down into two things, like advocacy and like training and education, and kind of like research and technology and innovation. It's like both of these two parts are like the puzzle piece to helping climate change. One without the other is kind of useless. So I think STEM is really important, whether it's, and so one way we could use STEM to help climate change is like improving research, right? Taking lots of data analysis, seeing how, projecting how it will occur in the future, like many scientists have done projections on how climate change now will amplify in the future. And through this research, scientists have concluded that in a couple of years, we'll be at a point where we can't come back from climate change. Right now, we're hearing that we still have time to combat climate change by taking on renewable energy resources, lowering our carbon footprint, buying electric cars, all of that. But scientists through this research concluded that later on, we'll be at a point where the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere will just be too much to undo, and we're just going to have to deal with their consequences. So that's where research comes in handy. But then also another part is technological innovation, like developing technology to help combat this, whether it's like reusing plastic bottles to make bricks to build houses, or using kelp to like make food. So technology and research are really important for STEM, along with advocacy and policy. Great question.
Thank you so much for your answer.
Thank you so much. Does anyone else have any other questions they would like to ask? Thank you so much for coming. Okay, I would like to thank all of our volunteers and panelists for making this panel a thing. Thank you guys so much. And I'd like to thank you guys for attending the webinar. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for joining. You're wonderful.
Thank you.